Hi guys, and welcome back to another Dr. H video, and today we're going to be playing Ride 4. We're doing helmet cam in Donington Park on board the BMW M1000RR. Now, I absolutely adore this track, and I absolutely adore Tommy Sykes. And seeing Tommy Sykes take a double podium at the weekend in the Super Pole race, and then once again in race 2, really gave me an urge to use the BMW M1000RR right here in Donington Park, because of course I love Donington Park and that's exactly where the World Superbike race was. So why not combine it together, because I know you guys wanted to see helmet cam gameplay from Dr. Ace. Here I am delivering that today, and I wanted to play as Tommy Sykes in my own little way. And I wanted to use the BMW M1000RR, so everyone's happy in today's video. But today's video is going to be a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more casual for me, because I'm not going to do a race recap from World Superbike, and I'm not really going to start discussing all the corners and talking about how to navigate Donington Park as well as anyone would want to. I just want to sort of chill out and just show some helmet cam gameplay. It's been a while for me to actually really tackle a track consecutively without crashing and just focusing on helmet cam. I'm not trying to break any world records here, I'm not trying to improve lap time after lap time after lap time, but just to get a good feel of the helmet cam, because I know you guys have mentioned helmet cam, and we did the debate and we did the poll on my channel, and we tried to discuss which most riders prefer. Obviously, I'm very much the same as a lot of other riders. We tend to prefer the third-person camera, the chase cam as people sometimes call it, but I do really appreciate helmet cam, and the riders who use helmet cam, of course, they want to really tell you that it is the ultimate way to play, and I understand why, because it does feel great. There's a sense of immersion, there's a sense of feeling, and that sense of speed with the wind just throwing into your helmet and really bobbling around your head. And of course, if you're wearing headphones, it makes the experience just so much better. Personally, for me, the whole thing is just immersion overload anyway. But utilising the helmet cam, I've got to say, I really enjoyed it. It felt like a new challenge for me, because I don't always get a chance to use the helmet cam, and I tend to find that I can't see as much in the helmet cam. So when I use the helmet cam, I can't really see the other riders, so I can't commentate. I might miss maybe crashes behind, or I might miss overtaking manoeuvres. It's a little bit difficult for me to commentate on regarding the helmet cam versus the chase cam. But as far as I'm concerned, I had an absolute blast. And with the fresh memory of the World Superbike race and seeing the BMW perform well, seeing Tommy Sykes perform well, it really inspired me to play Ride 4 and just utilise this combination. Granted, I'm not Tommy Sykes, and I never will be, unfortunately, but I can visualise just racing around Donington Park, utilising a magnificent motorcycle within the BMW M1000RR, and honestly, I just had a really enjoyable experience. I really enjoyed it. And I could probably do this again, in the sense of just going on a track, whether I know the track or not. Obviously, Donington Park, I love this track, I know it inside and out, I know all the corner names, etc. But going onto a track that I might not know so well could be great for another video, just to learn that there's the helmet cam. Now, of course, as you've seen in videos before, especially for myself, Monster Energy Supercross and MXGP, they are only used in helmet cam. I just find that playing the MX games from the third-person perspective in those games are just lacking a bit of sort of realism that makes it feel a bit arcade-like. Now, I understand a lot of people think that about third-person cameras anyway, but for me, Ride 4, MotoGP, they do a fantastic job of showing the rider's weight and the rider's movement to sort of manipulate the bikes around tough corners. It feels realistic just by watching it. Like, I can even watch replays of my own races and still enjoy them as much as I would, maybe not as much as I would of a real race, because the element of human-like people and the real commentators, of course, is different. But as far as the actual contest goes, it's still great to watch. And I really enjoy MotoGP no matter in what form, video game form or in real life, of course. And that is obviously the same for watching World Superbike, Australian Superbike, British Superbike, of course, which is absolutely awesome. And Ride 4 comes in great help. And it comes in so handy, because when I start watching British Superbike, like we've just seen in Alton Park, we've just seen a magnificent race. Now, I instantly want to jump on the McCams Yamaha and race around Alton Park. So many sort of... I'm very inspired by those things, watching any particular MotoGP race, British Superbike, World Superbike, MXGP, Monster Energy Supercross. I want to get the game and I want to replicate exactly what that is. And the idea of the replication is because I found it so exciting, I want to relive it again, if you will. And I guess this is actually a rather large factor in why I take my commentary so seriously in my likes of my MotoGP career mode, Monster Energy Supercross, MXGP, and even in Ride 4 sometimes, because I want to share that same sense of excitement and enjoyment that I get from listening to the commentators I love, like Nick Harris, Matt Burt, Steve Day, Keith Ewan, Gavin Emmett, James Whittam. The list goes on and on. Jack Burnicle, of course. There's so many names and so many people, but right now we're trying to focus on the actual thing, and what I'm saying is that they make it exciting for me. I want to go home and I want to play the video game and enjoy it once again because of what they've said, what action has unfolded on the track. I want to try and take that from them and play it in the video game form. And now, of course, YouTube is a feature for myself. I can now entertain you guys with the same sort of content. So it's a win-win-win for every single person in this particular subscriber count, if you will. But I'm getting a little bit off topic, somewhat. I mean, this is a sort of a casual video anyway, so it doesn't really matter. There's no law or no rules into making videos. I'm just trying to make it entertaining, just chatting to you guys, just something a little bit different for me. You might want to listen to this as a podcast or maybe even watch my content unfold in front of you. The best lap time we've set so far is a 1:27.202. I don't doubt that that is going to be beaten at some point, but so far it will take its time, just getting used to the track, getting used to the corners in helmet cam. Now in Donington Park itself, by just playing in third person, I'm pretty nippy around this track and I'm pretty consistent. Here I don't find them being as consistent. I'm still finding the feeling. And also when you've been playing so much MotoGP 21, I mention this quite a lot and it's not an excuse by any means, but you play MotoGP, you play Rims Racing, you play Ride 4, every game is different and they all have different handling, the ways you can apply the acceleration, you can apply the brakes. The biggest thing that I find different on Ride 4 is the brakes. The brakes on Ride 4 can be applied very heavily compared to the likes of MotoGP 21. And in MotoGP 21 you have to be very gentle, you have to feather the brakes a little bit going into some of the corners, and you have to really push the rider weight backwards and use a bit of rear brake. Now in Ride 4 it doesn't seem to be the case. You can be quite aggressive on the brakes, you can abruptly pull the trigger and nothing really seems to matter. However, the complete flip side again is that you can brake so hard on the lean angle in MotoGP 21, but you can't really brake at all on the lean angle in Ride 4 unless you're gently trail braking. A real weird amount of combination there from both games having realism and then arcade style at the same time. It's an interesting sort of balance. I'm guessing Milestone did this to make it easier for the new players and the beginners, if you will. But it seems a little bit odd to me because I would expect both to be either you can't brake hard in the corners or you can both brake hard in the braking zone itself. So very strange for me, but that is what it is, and I'm not going to argue about that right now because that is for a totally different video at some point sooner or later. But for the time being I'm still trying to bring in some more Ride 4 content because I really like Ride 4, and as I mentioned earlier with the inspiration of watching World Superbike and British Superbike, it is wanting me to get back into Ride 4 once again. And I do appreciate there's a lot of you guys who are still playing Ride 4. We did the poll a while back and there's still a lot of you playing Ride 4 right now. And the weekly challenges are coming up and you guys still watch the videos and you're still competing in challenges that I set a while ago. So Ride 4 is on the horizon once again. Now the current plans for MotoGP, Ride 4, my videos in general, is we have Muddy Mondays on Monday of course. Tuesday is usually Ride 4's time trial challenges. Wednesday is MotoGP 21. Thursday sort of bops in and out with a classic game such as Trials Fusion. Maybe a Ride 4 video here and there. And then on Friday's MotoGP 21. Saturday can be the same sort of scenario. Either chuck in maybe a Ride 4 or MotoGP challenge video. I'm running out of time and days to put videos in a week. I'm already doing roughly around 12 videos a week, which is pretty tiring, but I know you guys watch the videos, so that's all that matters to me. And it's going to be a case of that I'm trying to maybe even push this to 13 or 14, but I don't know whether I can manage it. It is rather tough as it is, but we'll try our best. And of course we've got the live stream coming this Saturday, so in effect you get 3 videos on Saturday, which sure, why not? If you enjoy the content that much and you're going to be there for the live stream, then God bless you. I really appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed already and you just enjoy watching the content, now's a great time to do so, because we're just chilling out. We're all friends here, just sort of relaxing. But the subscribing and the liking and the comment does actually go a long way for the channel. It helps me get noticed, and the more people interact with the channel, the bigger and the larger it will develop and grow. So I guess I'll just ask you as a favour, if you haven't done already, I would be very, very grateful if you wouldn't mind. And of course, guys, if you do want to leave a comment, always feel free to do so. I'll always try and reply to them as much as I can. And if you have any suggestions for the channel, you're more than welcome to make them in the comment section, or even contact me on Discord. The link is in the description, and we did a link on a poll a couple of days ago, or at least on the community channel. So if you want to go and check out that Discord link, it's either down there, or if there's any issues, let me know and I'll get straight back to you. But for the time being, we're on lap 7 now, and still no improvement on the 127.202, and we won't be making an improvement there. Is make a little bit of a mistake going into the Craner curves, touching the green and then going over the rumble strip is not ideal, let's be honest. But this BMW M1000RR I would highly recommend if you haven't tried this bike out just yet, as we make a complete butchery going into turn 6 there, a complete mess. Let's see if we can recover some time going into McLean's for turn 7. But I would highly recommend you try this motorcycle because it is really, really good. It's very, very nimble. It's very easy to maneuver around the track. I like it a lot. And of course it has a whopping ton of power, plenty of torque, plenty of acceleration. I can't say much more about this German manufactured machine than just it's so good. And we've made a mistake in the S's. I'm glad Tommy Sykes didn't make the same mistake I've just made into that corner. Now, of course, I know I have quite a lot of American supporters, but I'm not just going to say this just because it's you guys, but I'm sure that you guys are fist bumping in the air right now. Well, at least you will be in a second when I say what it is. But what a job for Garrett Gerloff, finishing on the podium in race 2. Now, bearing in mind, Garrett Gerloff has just been into Assen with MotoGP, trying out Franco Morbidelli's Petronas SRT Yamaha. Of course, the worst Yamaha on the grid, and effectively, you could say the slowest bike on the grid as well. And Garrett Gerloff did a grand job. He stayed on board the motorcycle, finished in 17th place, ahead of Luca Marini as well, no doubt, and then jumps on his own bike and finishes 2nd place in the race in race 2 on Donington Park on Sunday. Amazing job for the young American. You really can't fault that. And it's always good to see young new talent coming through from different countries that aren't just Spain or Italy, because we see it all the time, don't we? The Spanish conveyor belt that just pours off children. They're just ridiculous. Bike racing is just unbelievable. I mean, look at Pedro Acosta, Jam Amasia. There's so many have just woke up one morning, jumped on a bike, and now appeared in MotoGP. It's crazy. There's so many young Spanish talent, but kudos to them. These guys obviously invest in their young Spanish talent, and that is exactly what you need to be doing as a country to bring on your best riders. Because in MotoGP, in World Superbike, in fact, any bike sport in Britain is not celebrated as well as it should be. We have the likes of Johnny Ray, 6-time world champion, hardly ever gets mentioned on the news. Lewis Hamilton, as much as I'm not a fan of him, is amazing in F1, gets the job done, wins so many world championships, hardly gets mentioned. Now, something football happens, oh, there you go, you're going to hear about it. You hear about his wife, you hear about something else. That's not a debate about football right now, I'm not trying to get into that right now. But we don't get the recognition that we deserve. And I say we because we are a collective group of bike enthusiasts, bike lovers, bike passionate and minded people around motorcycles. We never get the credit we deserve. Johnny Ray, doesn't matter. Sam Lowes, Alex Lowes, most people won't even know who they are just because it's not football or some other sport in England, which really sucks. Now, on the other side, we're talking about the Spaniards. They are pushing their young talent into bikes, into every sport possible. That's what we need to do as a country. That's what every country needs to be doing. They need to be pushing their own talent to better and bigger levels. I might just be out of the loop, and I might be completely ignorant in what I've just said, but right now I'm going off the information that I know and I'm aware of, so that's why my opinion is up that on this regard. But let me know in the comment section down below about what you think, because I know I've got a lot of commenters who are from different countries. How do you feel about the way your country promotes young talent into each respectable sport? Is MotoGP popular in your country? is bikes popular in your country in general? And do people of the younger ages get the chance to jump on motorcycles in your country? For me, I never had any opportunity like that. I didn't discover MotoGP or bikes until around 2010, 2011 perhaps. I used to play the video games, but I never actually used to watch anything. But my mum was always a big Valentino Rossi fan, so she got me into MotoGP, and I think that was the best decision she ever did in our life, because I absolutely adore MotoGP, and I'm a massive Valentino Rossi fan. I have no dislike to any rider in the world, but I can say I have one favourite, and that is Valentino Rossi, but I certainly don't have anyone I dislike in the MotoGP or motorbike world in general. And of course, there are so many favourites. I do love Tommy Sykes, I love MotoGP, so Valentino Rossi is usually the number one. But as far as everything goes, bikes are just great. That's what I'm going to... You know, if there's something to learn from this video, is that Dr. Ace enjoys bikes. If that's the only thing you've learned from this video, and that's all that matters to me. I've kind of waffled in this video, to be honest with you, but I just wanted to do something different. Just something chilled out, something more relaxed. Because I'm a little bit tired today, and I really wanted to make this video. So I've sort of just relaxed and took a minute. I've had a rice pudding, I've chilled out. I've got a Vimto with me right now, which isn't great for the commentary because I don't know if you've noticed, but you probably have done because you've been listening to the videos and watching them, but I've been suffering quite a lot with my voice recently. It's getting rather tough and stressful on the voice to be so intense in so many Grand Prix, so today I just decided to do something a little bit more relaxed, something a bit more chilled, something I can just sort of sit back and relax with no script and just chat and just talk rubbish. Because I think the majority of this video has been rambling on, but I do appreciate you listening nonetheless. But as I mentioned, my throat does take rather a hounding, especially in those MotoGP 21 videos. Whew, they take a hounding, they really do. My problem is that I always feel like I can't stop. As if I don't like to do any pauses in the video, I don't like there to be any gaps. I like to just keep going, but it ultimately fries my throat a bit. I should really learn a little bit because, of course, MotoGP commentators, real commentators of bike racing, they don't always talk all the time. But I am the only person here. So if I had a co-commentator, for example, I would probably learn and understand when to pause. But since I'm on my own, it's just all systems go, fry the throat, fry the voice, and just keep the aces entertained. On a side note as well, if anyone's interested in merchandise, we are working on something very, very soon. I am probably going to decide when we reach the 2,000 subscribers, I'll drop some merchandise. I know a few guys have mentioned it, and I know a few guys have sort of heard me mention it in the past. I've been working with Sergio on some designs, but unfortunately recently he's not quite had the chance. And of course we aren't at 2,000 subscribers yet. So if we want merchandise, we're going to have to get those numbers up. Because of course it's got to warrant it. There's got to be a good reason to do it. Can't just drop it for any reason. I'm a very superstitious man. You've got to do things in order and drop it in certain aspects and certain times. It'd be like a celebration of 2K. Who knows, it could be like Dr. Ace 2K or something. We'll sort something out. But if you are interested, let me know in the comment section down below. And in general, if you have anything just to chat about in the comment section down below, chuck it in there, why not? I'm happy to chat to you guys, and the Aces are just the most best community in the world anyway. We are so welcoming and we just enjoy chatting with each other. We'll talk about anything. Majority of it is bikes, maybe 99.99%. But still, we like to chat about anything. So we're pretty much on the last lap right now, and I guess you superstitious guys are not going to like this, but this is going to be lap 13. So I do apologise in advance if we finish on lap 13. I do believe we do, because we don't have that many more corners to go, and we're still on lap 12. But the ultimate thing to take away from this experience is helmet cam, BMW M 1000 RR is awesome. I don't know if we're going to do a challenge this way because it's going to be difficult to understand if people are actually using helmet cam or not, and then there's a lot of proof and stuff like that, so it's kind of awkward. But for myself, I'm going to be starting to do a bit more helmet cam videos for you guys because I really enjoyed doing this video. I'll definitely do something like this again if you guys enjoyed it. Of course, it all depends on whether you guys did, so let me know in the comment section down below. But going into Melbourne Hairpin for the very final time, and then we'll be tackling Goddard's into the final time, into the final corner for the final lap, and then we'll check out the leaderboards to see how we did, if we were consistent, and where we can improve for the next video where we tackle helmet cam with maybe another bike. So the fastest lap was set on the very last lap there. It was 1:26.235, and those are my lap times on screen right now. And I can see in Sector 1 we were quite consistent already from the start. we have just sort of gradually improved, made a couple of mistakes here and there, and the same can be said in Sector 2. The lap times are very similar, or at least the sector times are very, very similar. It did feel like we got quicker and quicker as the race progressed, or at least this practice session progressed, but I do feel like we could improve quite a lot, as the actual ideal lap is only 1/1000 of a second quicker, which is quite shocking. But guys, that is pretty much it for me. I'll leave the screen for you guys to have a look at, maybe pause it if you do want to see more. But that is it from me, guys. A little bit of a different video for you, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be alerted to every single Dot Race upload. And upon that note, guys, thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure, and I will see you next time. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more Dot Race content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single Dot Race video.